Well, good morning. Jim here from the swing. Good to see you this morning. You know, I'm always amazed. I'm just so amazed how the Lord just works things out and teaches us so much. Yesterday we talked about how that even though that he was so discouraged, Jacob was so discouraged, and he got so discouraged he forgot the promise, he forgot the dream. Now listen, I want us to go from that point, and it says the next verse, it says, now the Midianites had sold him, who you're talking about is Joseph, when they got to Egypt, they sold him to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard. Now, hey, you know, sometimes you get pretty blessed in those dreams. Here Joseph found himself in verse 39. I'm going to skip over to verse 30, or chapter 39. That's where I want to start today after that verse. Genesis. I want us to, in Genesis. Genesis 39, we'll start there at the very first verse of that chapter. Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, he was high up. He was a high up official, close to the Pharaoh. They brought him down from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there, and the Lord was with Joseph. I want you to hear that. You're going to hear that. You're going to hear that a lot all through this. I think it's 7 times you'll hear the Lord say, and the Lord was with Joseph. That's the key. I mean, if he's with you, who cares? Who else? Who's against you? And so the Lord was with Joseph, but does that mean that everything's going to be perfect? Well, it seemed like it was here for a little while. And he was a successful man, and he was in the house of the master of the Egyptians. And this master saw that the Lord was with, here it is again, the Lord was with him. You know, people can discern. They can look at our lives. They can see the blessings. And here the Pharaoh, this Pharaoh's captain, this guy, he was no dummy. I guarantee you, he was very, very successful. He was the top. He'd reached the top for his life. And he looks at this little guy that he had bought as a slave, and he says, there's something different about this young man. Can they say that about us? I hope so. I hope somebody can watch our lives dying, and I hope and pray as we go and live our lives together, and wherever we go, I hope and pray there's an essence that is around us that people can look and say, there's something different. I can't put my finger on it, but something's different about it. We know what it is. We have the promises of God. We can trust him and we rest in him. So he saw that there was something different, and made him prosper in his hand. You see, he even made this guy prosper. And so Joseph found favor in his sight and served him, and then he made him overseer of his house, and all that he had he put under his authority. Can you believe this? Man, I tell you what, when God gives you wisdom, when God gives you a promise, and all of a sudden you're walking humbly, but with great confidence, humble confidence, humble in the fact that this is such a miracle, but confident in the fact that God has a destiny for you. He has a destiny. You're going someplace, and you're not going to get stopped. And in that going, you prosper because you're walking in the attitude of thanksgiving. You're walking, even though you're going through stuff you don't understand, you believe somehow, some way. Joseph never lost the confidence and the joy of his dream. Never lost it. And so he has all the favor of this Potiphar on his life. So it was from time that he had made him overseer of his house and all that he had, and the Lord, listen, and the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Jacob's sake. I'm telling you what, whoever you rub shoulders with, wherever God brings you, when you're under the anointing and you are in your dream, and God's carrying you, and this is conduit, you're in the middle of the conduit that's carrying you there, wherever you pass through, you're going to be a blessing to whoever you're involved with. I guarantee it. Think about it. Look at that again. He said, and the Lord blessed that house. I mean, he blessed that house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was on all that he had in the house and in the field, whatever he touched, because he was in right relationship with God, because he trusted in God no matter what the situation, somehow, some way, this is going to work together. And he rested in his dream. He rested in the God that gave him the dream. And he rested in the fact that it will be fulfilled. And as he did that, God flowed through him and blessed whatever he touched. Whew, that's good. That's really good. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to do some more good stuff.